Success Insight shares the stories of the people with passion and drive who make things happen in the world. Here's your host, Howard Fox.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Success Insight podcast. Our guest today is Andrée Martin, our leadership mindset and golf performance coach. And Andrée is joining us again to chat about the 10 tips to ensure success and keep you on course. Now, before we pick up on those tips, just a reminder to just kind of get to know Andrée and really what makes her the perfect partner here on this series of Mindset Monday is Andrée is bringing her passion for golf. And, she is a LPGA Class A life member. She's been playing golf for a while, and she is a nationally recognized top 50 golf teacher and expert and a member of the Maine Golf Hall of Fame. And recognizing golf's value as a business tool in today's competitive marketplace, Andrée works with individuals, groups, corporate, or organizational clients to create educational and team-building programs that enhance the professional success of aspiring executives. Andrée, welcome back to the Success Insight podcast.
Thank you, Howard. It's always good to be back.
Fantastic. And, I have to say, I really enjoyed our last Mindset Monday. You introduced us to the 10 tips to ensure success and keep us on course. And I know we talked about those first 5. In this episode, we're going to go through 6 to 10. But if you could, just give us a little bit of a reminder of what the first 5 tips were.
Certainly. So the first tip was have a clear vision, what you aspire to do, dreaming big. State your purpose is number 2. Your purpose guides you. 3, have a defined audience and know your client. Number 4, know their needs. And it's not just that. You want to listen and take in what they want and deliver what they need. And then number 5, offer them solutions to those specific needs they have. And we close by talking about how important it is about finding what gets them to the greatest impact. And that is so critical in both business and in golf. Impact position is everything for creating consistency and long shots, solid contact, direction. It covers everything for performance. Obviously, with the mental strength, you can get that done every single time. And with us following all these 10 tips, keeping you on course, we're going to continue with 5 more today. Are y'all ready?
We are ready. Let it rip.
Fantastic. So number 6 is always a fun one. Now that we know we're making a big impact and we want to, and we know how to deliver it, you want to build a memorable experience. What's a memorable experience? I had one person, how about you increase 20 yards in one lesson? I actually had an exciting one this week. I helped increase 35 yards.
Wow.
Blast. I love days like that. And sometimes just smaller measures. If you can increase it by 5 yards, that's a good day. So what is a memorable experience given what you're delivering to your customer? It might be, I remember how much she cared when she delivered such and such, right? Or I needed an emergency lesson and gave me the tools to stay focused. I might have added a little NLP in there to really help them dial in and stay focused in the mindset and get rid of all the fears. We tackled the fears a few weeks ago, but sometimes those come in, so we knock them back out of there. And so how do you make it so memorable that they want to come back or they go home and they say, honey, I just had the best time ever. And I got a lot done. And I performed my very best. That's a memorable experience. Now, I'm also, throughout this conversation and talking about a memorable experience, I've been sharing some of the pathways for them to follow, right?
Yeah.
And you do need, whether it's business or golf, it doesn't matter, any sport. You got to have a practice plan. It's got to be a purposeful practice. I'm huge on that. And a strategy for the course. Jack Nicklaus never played. He'd always say this. He never played or created a shot in practice that he didn't intend to hit in a tournament. Tom Brady says the same thing. You got to Play hard in practice so the coaches notice and they want to put you in the game. And if you're not playing hard and preparing to be your very best and being your best in practice, how can you be your best out there in the field, in the event, when you're delivering? And that definitely carries over in business.
Most definitely. It's interesting. I was working with a client today, and their goal was to move from a phone-based customer service job to another position where maybe they weren't going to be 100% off the phone, but some percentage, 50%, which is not unreasonable.
Right.
And one of the things we did is it's more than just saying, okay, let's look for the jobs, the opportunities, let's start to go after them. But before we could even start that, we had to give them the layout. Here's the plan. Here's all the tools that are available. And here's the accomplishments, these short-term accomplishments. Like we've got to work on your resume. We have to work on your stories about how you use your skills to succeed. You've got to have all that available to you before you can actually take the step to go out and find the job. And one of those memorable experiences is also networking. Have you talked to anybody about this? Well, I'm shy. I don't know who to talk to. Well, once you give them the tools, say, you need to start to meet people, have conversations. What was once a insurmountable fear of vulnerability, of this is what I'm interested in. Now they come back after having experienced this, leading in to have a conversation, to have what we call informational interviews, to talk about potential positions with somebody who's doing the work. You create that experience in their mind that, oh, I can do this.
Yes.
And it also helps them take ownership because I'm not the one that's going to get them a job. They've got to do it. They've got to lay the groundwork in order to achieve that.
But you're helping with that pathway, laying the groundwork, and it's actually giving them the confidence and the passion and the desire with now the tools to get there.
Right.
So that they can take responsibility for themselves. Now we're going into conversion. Number 8. What are you wanting to sell? You just gave an example. They're wanting to build up within the company. They're moving up in their role, right? And for me, I want to help my client. Well, what type of client do I have? Am I selling golf clubs or am I teaching specific lessons? Is it a cocktail hour for a corporate group or is it Mr. and Mrs. Smith getting ready to play in the couples tournament this weekend? And how am I going to get them prepared? Just like how am I going to get this corporate group prepared? So each one of them has a conversion where we're creating these steps and pathways so that it ensures their success. And when we do that, number 9 is elevating their success. In golf, it's elevating their success in tournament play, perhaps, or weekly play, lowering scores. In business, it's in your community, right?
Right.
And how do you create the results where they're saying, oh man, that's the best result ever. I can't wait to do the next step. And they keep coming back to you for more.
I love that because in business, again, with thinking about some of my clients, once they have this accomplishment of, wow, that wasn't so bad, I can do this, then going to an event or doing some more advanced styles of networking or reaching out to people that they didn't know, but who have some information that might be valuable for them to hear about or learn from. Now they're starting to take ownership, and that's when change starts to happen. It starts to occur, and their success, much like on the golf course, my score improves. I'm having fun.
Absolutely.
People can see it in me. But then even in business, people start to see, wow, there's something different about you. It's wonderful.
Yeah. And when you're confident, you've built that confidence, you've got that passion, you've now got a story to tell, but you're also lighter and looser. And my favorite saying in golf, and this applies to business as well, is looser is longer, right? And you're just dialed in and much more focused. And when you trust, you can do.
Love it.
Number 10, is measure and modify. We've got all this success, the pathways laid out, we've converted, we're elevating success. Now, how are we measuring that success so we can keep it going and repeat? That's saying rinse and repeat, right? Rinse what's good, assess what didn't work, and get back on track and keep going for the gold. That also ties back into our SMART goals that we did in week 1, where it's simple and measurable, it's achievable, realistic, timed, and you're getting better at this result.
I love it. And these 10 tips are very much aligned nicely on the business side, especially in the career development or career transition space when people have lost their jobs, they've taken a hit, they have faltered some way. Part of the opportunity is to help them build up confidence that there are opportunities out there. You just have to change the mind game.
Get them back on course. It's all about bringing them back on course. You just identify, delete, keep going, keep moving, and succeeding.
I love it.
Impact equals success.
Impact equals success. And, making that impact, we are going for the gold and not settling for silver, correct?
Absolutely.
Andrée, before we leave, why don't we just real quickly zip through those 10 tips again so everybody has them?
Happy to. So, number 1 is have a clear vision. 2 is state your purpose. 3, have a defined audience. 4, know their needs. 5, offer them solutions. 6, build a memorable experience. 7, have a clear pathway for them to follow. 8, convert those challenges into confidence and passion. 9, elevate success even within the community. 10, measure, modify, experience, adjust.
I love it. Fantastic. Great 2-part episode. I know our listeners are going to enjoy it, and thank you for bringing your spin on what success is. And, I think we tied very nicely on what goes on the golf course and with you and your clients and what they're looking for, helping them achieve their goals. And it also ties in very nicely within the business community. No matter where you're at, whether you are a solo entrepreneur, business owner, maybe you are a professional inside the business looking to navigate your career. These tips apply to everyone. And that's what I love about these episodes of Mindset Monday. We're tying sport and business together. So thank you so much.
Lots of fun and lots of results, I hope, for everybody.
Most definitely that. And Andrée, if our listeners would like to learn more about you and your work, where are the best places for them to go?
Absolutely. My website is andreegolf.com. That's Andrée with 2 E's. And I have Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, and YouTube with lots of video tips.
Fantastic. And we will definitely provide all the backlinks to your website and to the social sites as well. And again, thank you for joining us on the Success Insight podcast. It's great.
Thank you, Howard. As always, pleasure.
Okay, folks, we have just been chatting with Andrée Martin, our leadership mindset and golf performance coach. And this was part 2. And our episode was the 10 tips to ensure success and keep you on course. Last episode of Mindset Monday was tips 1 through 5. And today we talked about tips 6 through 10 and just tie that all together. And as we were just chatting about a few minutes ago, these tips tie very nicely, whether you are on the course or working on your business, or perhaps you work in the business as an employee or professional. These apply to everyone. So we hope you got a lot of value and insights into what actions you can take to move either your game or your career forward or your business forward. This is a great opportunity to remind you, if you want to learn more about successinsightpodcast.com, do visit us on our Success Insight Podcast page. Leave us a comment about today's episode. You can also find us on LinkedIn and on Facebook on our Success Insight Podcast pages, as well as the major podcast platforms: Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Pandora, and you can also find us on YouTube as well, all by just searching for Success Insight Podcast. Okay, Folks, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, go out there, have a phenomenal day. Take care of yourselves, take care of your family, practice social distancing, and wear your mask. And we'll see you on the next episode of the Success Insight Podcast. Take care now.
Success Insight is a production of Fox Coaching and First Story Strategies. Find us online, successinsightpodcast.com.